How Cleopatra Obelisk got to Central Park. The 70 feet tall, 220-ton obelisk is the city's oldest artifact, but many New Yorkers don't know it exists. Cleopatra Obelisk is an 3,500-year-old artifact from ancient Egypt, survived a voyage to Central Park more than a century ago and has been the treasure of nestled behind the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The hieroglyph-covered column was commissioned by one of Egypt's most powerful pharaohs and reigns as among the last of its kind. It's our oldest inhabitant, says Dr. Bob Breyer, a renowned Egyptologist at Long Island University's The Campus in Brookville. Erected in Heliopolis around 1450 BC, the obelisk was toppled centuries later by Persian invaders. It was buried in the dust for 500 years more until the Romans snatched it for Julius Caesar. Now the Central Park Conservancy is embarking on a $500,000 project to preserve the monument using lasers to wipe away decades of dirt and pollution. The obelisk is an engineering achievement. It's an ancient skyscraper. That year, the United States became determined to get an obelisk of its own. America missed its first chance at an obelisk in 1869 at the opening of the Suez Canal. Bankrupt and beholden to European creditors, Egypt offered U.S. officials the ancient pillar not out of generosity and friendship but out of desperation. The offer was ignored, not signed, until New York was overcome with obelisk envy at the sight. The Egyptian representatives promised us officials of generosity and friendship but out of desperation. The offer was ignored until New York was overcome with obelisk envy at the sight. The Egyptian representatives promised the American officials an obelisk several times before, and this time he asked for the offer in writing. Under a new contract, the U.S. officials made sure the precious relic would go specifically to New York. In 1879, newspaper headlines declared obelisk victory. Railroad mogul William Vanderbilt covered the obelisk's transport. Now America only needed a man for the daunting feat of bringing it home. At the time, the largest object to sail in the hold of a ship was a 100-ton cannon heading from England to Italy, Breyer writes. London had towed its obelisk. They slid it into an 83-foot-long wooden box, which was rolled with cannonballs onto a vessel bound for Staten Island. The obelisk set sail on June 12, 1880, and reached New York a little over a month later. But the treacherous journey wasn't over. It took another 5 months for the artifact to reach Central Park. The obelisk's 50-ton pedestal was pulled to 51st Street into the park with 32 horses. The monument, meanwhile, was towed up the Hudson River to 96th Street on pontoons, and built a special rail track to move the obelisk through the city at a rate of only 1 block per day. As Cleopatra's needle inched toward its new home, New York was enraptured in a wave of Egyptomania. When the obelisk's cornerstone was laid at Central Park's Greywacke Knoll, close to East 81st Street,